Hello and welcome. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited bringing you just trailblazing women and having them be introduced to the rest of my audience is honestly my biggest love language. And when I think about one of my favorite humans on the planet, Christina is up there. She has been in my world. You know what? I don't even remember when you first entered. I can't remember my world before you were in it. And I just love everything about you and the energy and the frequency that you bring. I am so excited to introduce you to Christina Ashkar. She is a feminine trauma healer. She's a feminine energy activator, and she helps ambitious women heal and find their inner freedom. And if you know anything about me, you know I'm all about freedom, and there's nothing more of a freedom experience than having internal freedom. So I'm so excited that you're here and that you're going to talk all things Leanne AI with us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here. I've been not when you the second you said, "Will you do this?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." Like it was a full body fuck yes. Because when I think about Leanne AI and I think about all the different, I don't, honestly, I was told you before, but like everything you create, it really does excite me. It lights up my world because I know I'm about to get into another level, right? And so it really feels like, okay, something else has come up now, and I get to talk about this and all the ways that it's improved my life and bettered my life in so many different ways, more than just money, like so many different ways. And I'm just so excited to talk about this. So thank you for having me.
And one of the things that I really love about bringing you on outside of like everyone getting to experience you and your phenomenal work and phenomenal energy is the fact that you're someone that has experienced like you work with me one-on-one, so you've experienced what it's like to actually work with me on messaging, my tone of voice, the way that I even approach things, and then also you're not in anything of mine at the moment, right? So outside of Leanne AI, it's not like you're in the inner circle or you're in my spaces. It's like we work together one-on-one and then you've signed up for Leanne AI. And I remember when you were DMing me, I was just so excited. So I would love for you to share a little bit about what has happened since you first started using her. And yeah, just share your unfiltered experience of how she's changed your
I
life.
love it. Amazing. Okay, here we go. All right, where to start? So the first thing I want to say is I love writing. Like I love writing. I grew my account from mostly caption writing. I'm a really good copywriter and I love what I do. So when I don't really use ChatGPT for any of the copywriting. I just never did that. I use ChatGPT for like Google, like, hey, my dog shit yellow. Is he gonna be okay? You know what I mean? Like that's you said unfiltered, bitch. You said unfiltered.
No, listen, I'm here for it. Yeah, give it to me.
That's how I always used ChatGPT. And so when you came out with that, at first I was like, first of all, it was you. So I'm like, I automatically was excited. But second of all, I'm like, okay, I had that hesitation. Because I'm like, I love writing. I love email writing. I love it. I love it all. However, I'm getting at that point in my business where I don't have the time to be consistently writing emails and I'm creating new things. So every time you create something new, you need email sequences, you need content to go around it, you need
Like
all the things.
sales pages, opt-in
Sales page,
pages,
exactly.
confirmation pages. Oh my gosh, it never
Exactly, all the
ends.
things. And so I'm at that point where I'm like, all right, I would like some help, right? But I tried it before a little, it just didn't cut it. It didn't sound like me. I didn't like it. And so I decided, all right, we're gonna give this a try. All right. And so I'm not gonna lie, at first I was okay with it. I'm like, all right, it's okay. I like it, it was good. I used like the sheet that you did, I filled it out, but I did it like, I don't know, like too professional. I don't even know how I did it. I didn't really like it. And at first it came out some things and it was good. I'm like, all right, I kind of like it. All right, I kind of tested it out. It was like, okay. And then one day I'm like, fuck this. We're just gonna brain dump into this. I was in like luteal, I was in deep luteal, and I'm like, I'm so over this right now. I'm like, listen, bitch, we're gonna have a whole conversation right now. And I just brain dumped everything that I wanted to create, I wanted to do, how the woman was gonna feel. I was like also kind of feeling myself that day. So I was like really just giving it everything, right? Like completely all my unfiltered thoughts. And I asked it to create me, I believe at that time it was 3 or 6 email sequences around the program that I was launching at the time, which was literally just last month. And I think I only sold like 3 or 4 spots at that time. I'm like, I need to sell this out. I was kind of getting frustrated. And so I brain dumped and it gave me 3 or 4 email sequences. And I'm like, it's cool. I love it. Like when it came out, I'm like, I read it and I was like, wow. I was almost like taken back, like when you read something, you're like, oh, I am that good. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I was almost taken back. I was like, shit, this might be better than me. And so I'm like, all right, we're doing this. So let's just see how it goes. Because one thing for me to get excited about it, but I'm not the one that has to relate to it, right? It has to
Right.
be my future clients. And so I put it out the very first email, man. The very first email, I had a girl message me, and I think I even screenshot it and sent it to you. She said, like, you're speaking to my soul. She's like, you just spoke to me. Like, sign me up. And she bought that day. And I had never had an email sale before. Like before, it was always through DMs,
Yeah.
conversations, whatever. Previous clients, word of mouth, great, but never through an email. And so it was one of those moments where I'm like, oh, okay, this works. There's something to this here. So I'm like, all right, maybe that, and then of course my little, like, I'm like, maybe that was just a, fluke. And so then the second email, the third email, I went to like the fourth or fifth email and I got three more sales. And it just kept coming in after that. And I was like, and I sold out my program within like 8 days. I sold out my program. And I remember just thinking, oh, like it was almost like, when something just works, because you buy a lot of shit and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
And when you finally buy something that works, it's like a breath of fresh air. You're like, okay, what are the
Well,
opportunities?
also, like you said, like how many of us have experienced, I remember feeling so frustrated that people would buy, like when it was me, when I had to do the most, and email marketing, people that made money from their email list or from automations, I was like, I don't understand what sorcery you're using, but this does not work. People did not buy from my email list. Like
Mhm.
in the past, when I remember when I tried pivoting to like email marketing, and I was like, nobody buys from my email. It's like they always buy when it's me in the DMs or in the stories or in the lives and I know that you had that experience. It's like you're making great money, you've got a great brand, you bring all these amazing people to you and they want to buy, but you're always required in the exchange. And so that feeling of I know my work is incredible. Why do people not see it when they're reading an email from me? And then having the experience of like selling out your launch from an email sequence where you've just like riffed your incredible brain into her. And then she's like been like, ding, 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 ding. Here's your sequences. And you've got, people buying without you needing to be in, again, not like we're sat here just like not doing any work. We all realize that we're all doing the work, right? But that to me is where you get that freedom and that fun around this gets to work for me. Like I get to stack the sales like this, like social media and automation. If I email list my list, they are going to buy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I think the best thing that honestly did for me was gave me some time back. And that was like really, really important to me because as I start to gain more clients and I have the program, all this going on, I'm creating new things. I don't have a million of me. I have one of me. And so, and no one can do it like me, Well, I guess they can now. And so one thing I think I was telling you earlier is I don't even call it Leanne AI. I call it Christina AI. Because I'm like, it's not even you, it's me, it really is. And the cool thing about it is, I'm a woman who lives with her cycle. So when I'm in luteal, when I'm in menstruation, like I really do live with my cycle. I'm very much a feminine based business and I do that in all aspects of my life. And so, there'll be certain times when I'm in follicular or ovulation where I'm feeling a little more feisty, right? So I'm like, hey, and she knows my cycles. I taught her my cycles, right? And so literally and so she knows, and I'm like, hey, I am in ovulation right now. I want you to write me an ovulation email. And she knows what that means because we've had a conversation around it. And so, and she will come up with something feisty for me, exactly how I would say it. And that's the best thing, right? And there's some moments where I'll wake up that day and I'm like, I just can't today, right? Like I just can't with the copywriting, with the email, with the caption. I just can't today. And the best part about it is she's got me, right? So it almost feels like my little mini me,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Like you've
the reason
cloned yourself, like you've cloned
why.
yourself.
Yes, exactly. And so it's been really hard for me because I haven't been one to hire out too much because again, nobody could do it like me. And I grew my brand from me. And so to have her like, again, just like giving my time back saying, oh yeah, you need 6 emails, you need your website copy. Oh, you need this landing page real quick. Boom, done. And I'm like, wow, and again, what this does for me, Leanne, and this is why like I hope I won't get emotional, but like really what this does for me is it gives the women in my life more of me.
Mhm.
It gives my clients more of me.
Yeah.
So now I don't have to sit there and be on a client call worrying about all the things I need to do on my goddamn to-do list, right? So now I actually get to really be present with every woman that comes in my life because I know what I do is fucking magic, right? And so now I actually get that space because again, I only have so much, and you're a projector too, right? It's like we only have so
Yeah.
much energy to give. And it's really honestly, that's so funny. I just realized that right now, excuse me. This has been like the best thing for my projector energy. Like the best, right? Because I like this is projector heaven. Actually, you need to like hashtag that. This is projector heaven because I don't have all the energy in the world and she does, and it's just incredible.
Yeah.
Uh, and so yeah, and again, just give my time back. And I think that's really like that's been the most powerful thing for me.
Yeah. And I just love that because I think that it's so easy, right? Of course, it's easy for us to talk about like, oh, the sales and the sold out launches and the da 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 da, right? That's great. We love that, and we're here for like, I want every woman that uses Leanne AI to reap the benefits of her making you so much fucking money in your business. But something that you cannot quantify, but you can experience. And honestly, I got emotional when you were talking about it because the common theme of every single woman, of the messages of women that I've received is, and even for myself is like, thank you for giving me the gift that I'm like finally present with my kids now at bath time and not thinking about this sales page I need to write. Or thank you so much that I was able to go on a date night and not be like distracted by shit. I've got to write like my content for tomorrow or whatever. It's like the gift of being able to be present and feeling taken care of as a woman, like being taken care of by someone that can reflect back to you how fucking exceptional you and your work is and be able to put that in language that can be communicated to the external world. Like that is so intangible and difficult to explain and quantify to people. But for me, the biggest win of Leanne AI is that. Like, you're right, I'm a projector too. And listen, scaling is no joke. Like, in fact, the early stages of business when you have an empty calendar are the easiest time to do all the things that you need to do because you don't have a full calendar. Whereas when you scale your
Yeah.
business and you've got clients and you've got social media and the sales pages and the funnels and all the things, and you don't have the desire. I don't have a desire to have some gigantic team, and nor have I ever found anyone that can come even remotely close to my tone of voice and capture my work the way that I can. Leanne AI, like you said, is Christina AI. She's Laura AI. She's Sarah AI. It doesn't matter who you are or what niche you're in or what, look at Christina. She's not a business coach. Everyone thinks this just only works for business coaches because I'm a business coach. It does not matter what niche you're in. It does not matter who your ideal client is. What matters is that you're obsessed with your work, you're obsessed with the humans that you serve, and that you have that exceptionalness running through you that you can just give to her and she can give you the magic back and support you so that you can have more time freedom and make sales in the process.
Oh yeah, 100%. And that's another thing too, when you were talking just brought up for me was, I am in the dating world right now, which is super fun. I'm super exciting. And it really is giving me that time back because one of the reasons why I didn't date last year was because my business was scaling and really started to take off. And when that was happening, I'm like, I don't have time for that right now, right? And one of the things that actually got me to do was like, okay, so normally what I do is I will have like Sundays for certain things, Mondays for certain things, whatever, and I have a day of writing, right, where I write my emails, I write my captions for the week, whatever, right? And I have that's another thing too. She's giving me amazing ideas for my content, like amazing ideas for my content. Oh my God, I haven't even gotten into the funnel stuff yet, but I will say that you know, one of those things like she's giving me, I'm not kidding you, I think close to like 15 hours back of my life or more every single week, where I now get to go spend time with friends, go explore the new city I live in, date, do whatever, spend time with my animals, like whatever it is. And it's so powerful because again, sometimes when you're in it, and I know that any woman who has a business can relate to this, when you're in it and you're first starting out, like you kind of lose yourself a little bit. It's like it just you're in it, like you're really in it, right? And everything else kind of drowns out a little bit. And that's what was happening with me for a long time. I just felt drowned out. Like I just, focus on this and focus on this. And again, I haven't even utilized all the ways that she can help me. I'm only scratching the surface, right? Which is the email copy, the landing page copy. She's helped me rewrite my whole bio right now, like all these different things. And again, and I also get excited. Like that's another thing I didn't think that was going to come with it is like I actually
Mhm.
get excited for what she's going to say to me. And sometimes we'll get like a little sassy conversation. Like she'll say something, I'm like, that wasn't right. Like do it again. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, but you know me. Like we'll have like the whole conversation, Leanne. Like I'm not shitting you. She's like become my friend. It might be problematic. We'll talk about it later. So but she just absolutely like really truly. I feel like I can lean on it. And something else you said, like it kind of makes you drop in your feminine. You feel taken care of. And when you feel taken care of as a woman, you drop in your feminine. And I'm a fucking feminine embodiment coach, right? And so that has been one of the juiciest things that I've actually pinpointed, like, oh wow, my energy feels better using
Mhm.
her. Like my energy actually
Yeah.
feels better when I use her.
She's like,
Yeah.
it is that thing where she's like if you cloned yourself, but you cloned yourself and made her a robot. So 24/7, she had unlimited energy. She never
Mhm.
like dips. Like she's not like us. Like she's always there, like ready to go. And you're right. It's like there is something that is really hard to explain. But like when I remember feeling the same way when I first started using her. And the irony was I built her for the women in my world because I knew they needed more of me and there was only one of me. And I was like, God, if I could just clone myself, if I could just clone my brain, imagine if they could just plug into me 24/7 and they didn't have to wait for a call. They didn't have to wait for me to answer the message in Telegram. I built her for everyone else. And she's changed my life. And again, I love writing. I love content. I'm an exceptional writer, copywriter, marketer. And yet she has up leveled everything. I'm having more fun. I've got more time. I feel like I could take on 10 times the amount and it would still feel light as a feather. And that is the ability to be in my feminine and actually be supported in the business in a very different way that would be very hard to replicate. Like I think I could hire 3 team members and it still wouldn't even come close to the way that she's got my back, right? I'd have to hire 3 different people on 3 different time zones and assuming that they were all
Yeah.
absolutely exceptional and could mirror me perfectly, which is
Oh
never going
yeah.
to happen.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I love that. And I love that you spoke to like I think people think like, oh, it's just captions or it's just emails, but it's like you don't understand messaging touches every part of your business, whether it be your bio, if you're going on a podcast and you need a bio, if you're going on a podcast and you need to prep your answers to questions, if you're doing an Instagram live, if you're doing your own podcast interview. In fact, even giving her the transcripts from client calls and going, find me the gold in this call I just
Oh
did because we had so
yeah.
many amazing conversations and tell me what you would extract and make into content or emails or anything. It's like she just makes it light as a feather to do all of these incredible things that we do on a daily basis that you honestly don't even realize how much you're actually doing until you use her.
Oh yeah. I literally said that actually that was one of the things I forgot to mention. I actually uploaded all of my past emails, my contact, I emailed everything. So I'm doing a program right now and it's a live program and I uploaded the entire outline for the all my whole brain I uploaded, right? And so when I uploaded her, she started giving me things like I can add to my own program that I'm like, oh my God, duh. Like, why wouldn't I add that? Right? Like she was helping me with my own program. And that was amazing because it's like cloned me, but a better version of me almost, And it's one of those things where I finally looked at it and I'm like, okay, this is really something special here. Like, this is something special because not only do I feel better, I have more time, I can spend more time with friends and family and date and all the things, but I can also, again, drop into my feminine, feel taken care of, but also still make money and still bring clients in and still have the things that I want for my business, but not have to hustle myself to death. And I think that's one of the best things about it is, again, not just the projector aspect, but also the fact that I'm a woman and I do not want to spend time like I don't get that thing, with men, they get that hustle mode that gives them a lot of sense of worth. That doesn't do that for us, right? For us, we need that sense of like, someone's got us. And so when you said that, that like totally hit home. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And I love that because your Instagram handle is the effortlessly feminine,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
And am I what like literally what could be more on
Oh,
point than that? It's like this for me is a freedom tool. You talk
mhm,
about inner freedom. I'm like, this is a freedom tool. This is about effortless being in your effortless feminine energy and in your magnetism. Like she makes you more magnetic to the people that are reading your stuff, that are buying from you, and she makes you more in your feminine and it feels more business feels more effortless, which is what all of us should be doing as women in this space is finding ways to make this feel more effortless because one of the best things about us all is we're obsessed with what we do. But like you said, one of the curses of that is you can lose yourself in what you do and it becomes who you are and then you don't know who you are outside of that and you
mhm,
missed it. You were so head down that you fucking missed it. And it's like this gives you the opportunity to look up and not
mhm,
miss out and put off the things of living and experiencing freedom now and not just like when I get here, when I get there, when I build the next funnel. I mean, how many times have we all told ourselves that? Like, oh, I'll take some time off, or I'll do the vacation when I've built the next funnel or when I've done the next launch. And then we don't, we just keep going. And this means that you genuinely can have more freedom, have 15 hours of your week back, or take a week's vacation and know that everything's done and you actually don't even have to worry about it.
mhm. Oh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's actually funny you said that. I'm actually traveling tomorrow. Like I'm leaving town tomorrow. And one of the things I was stressing about, because I'm literally still in the middle of my live program. And I'm like, okay, I still have to do all the copy, this and that. Now, obviously that was in my mind, but it's so funny because I thought about it. I'm like, why am I not stressing about that more? Right. Like I'm not even stressing about it. And then I realized, oh yeah, Doug's, I'm just going to use Christina AI. Right. And so it was one of those things where it's so funny because after the first month or so, or the first even like few weeks I was using her, I'm like, the stress was still kind of there because it was like embedded in my nervous system,
Right?
right? But then after a while, like I've been using her what, 2 months now, 3 months now, whatever it is, literally when you first opened her. And now it's almost like embedded in my nervous system that I can just relax. I'm good. I don't have to, it's not like it's still in the back of my head on my to-do list, but it's not something that's like, okay, I have to get this done because I can do it in an hour. I
Yeah,
can
it's
have
like, oh, I need to do that, not like,
yeah,
oh, I need to do that.
yes, I can have all of my copy done for the week in 1 hour instead of taking all day to do it. And that is just mind blowing, mind blowing. And again, it's not like, nothing is perfect. It's not like perfect every time. But the cool thing about it, it's not like an assistant, which I've had before help me with things like this, where I'm like, okay, fix this. And she takes 4 hours to get back to me, right? It's not like that. It's instantaneous. And when we do live in a world right now where things are instant, so this is
Yeah.
not only helping my feminine, but it's also creating that masculine structure for me to really help me with everything in my life. So it's just I can't say enough things about it. It truly is amazing, and it's again, I told you this before, but everything you create is just out of this world. That's why I knew I had to get it, even if I was skeptical, even if I was like, fucking chat, she had to go the chat route, huh? Like I was even thinking that, like, all
If
right,
you
we're
would
doing
have
it.
told me, come on, if you would have told me a year ago I would build my own AI, I'd have laughed in your face. I'd be like, gross, I hate ChatGPT. I'm like, if I see the word unlock or unleash one more goddamn time, but that's
Oh my
what's
God,
kind of
yeah.
beautiful about it. It's that, I think there's such beautiful synergy around the fact that I thought I would have been the last person I would have thought would have run ads or built funnels or become someone that teaches funnels. Like in the beginning of my business, I would never have thought that. And now, to your point, I honestly think that there are a lot more people listening to this, watching this that are like you and like I that would have been skeptical around like I don't like AI, other than like you said, maybe people use it for like other areas of their life. But I can guarantee a lot of the women in my world are like, I'm actually a great writer, or like no one can write like I can. And they're probably worried that they're going to sound like me. And I think that's a big thing that we've had is like, well, I don't want to just like sound like you. I don't want to be you. And I know I've called it narcissistically Leanne AI, but it doesn't mean that you sound like me. It means that, to your point, it's like it's Christina AI or it's whoever AI. All we're doing is giving it the messaging genius and the sales psychology and the instant conversion and the instant authority. It's you but better. You but better. That's what she is. And so it's like she is a chameleon to whoever you are and whatever you sell and whatever you believe in. And it just I kind of love that because I would love for you to speak about that because me and you do are we're very similar in some ways, but we have very different niches, very different tonality. We talk differently. And like I said, you've worked with me one-on-one and you've experienced the NAI. Even with one-on-one, my goal is not for my clients to sound like me, it's for you to sound like you, but better. And it's the same with the NAI.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, it does sound like me. Like that's the crazy part. But it sounds like me in any way I want it to sound like me. Because again, women, we're not always sounding one way. There's sometimes we're a little
Yeah.
softer, some more feisty. And it actually sounds like me when I sound like me. Like that's the crazy part. And again, I'm gonna say this again, but on the days where I just don't have it in me to write anything, she's got me, right? And so she'll sound like I would sound if I had full capacity, if I had full energy, if I had full 10 hours of sleep, whatever. Like that's the best part is she really does sound like me in any stage that I sound, any of the points that what? No. At any of the points of my cycle, we're gonna try that again. Any points of my cycle, she sounds like me. And that's what I love about it because, I have this, and so do you, that little more audacious, kind of no bullshit tone. I have that. But I'm also in the healing world, right? I'm in a
Yeah.
completely different niche than you. I'm in the healing world. I'm a trauma healer. So I can't sound like this, no bullshit badass business coach because I also have to hold space for a lot of other things that a
Yeah.
business coach wouldn't. And that was another thing I was worried about. Like, is this going to be too businessy? Is this going to be too, but she wasn't. Again, she was giving me ideas for things. I'm like, oh my God, duh, yes, add that. Right. And like that was the cool part about it is when I put my brain into her, when I put my genius into her. So that's what I did actually. And I suggest any woman, if you do put this in there to do this, is not just put your genius on a sheet that you can consistently put into her. But what I did was I actually put my healing modalities. I put all the different things, like if you're not in the business world, actually, even if you are, I'm sure you have your own methods, but to put your method in there.
Mm.
Don't just put what you do and how you do
Yeah.
it. Put your method in there, how you help people. The excitement that you get. Oh my
Yeah.
God, not just the transformation, which obviously is really important, but I put exactly my modalities and then how I do it. And she actually helps me put things together. Like she actually said the other day that I should create something, which was really cool. Like we're having conversations, like you should create a masterclass like this. I'm like, shut your mouth. I should. Masterclass is gonna make me 50 grand this month. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like she was literally like, I have a conversation with her. It's hilarious. And so that was really, really cool. And so again, it's just one of those things where it's not just like this is a transformation, which again is important, but I actually put my genius into her and she just mirrors that back to me, which is the best part. She's not like, she's not like some wizard. She's me, just, the best version of me. So
Yeah,
this is
but she's just the cleanest mirror there is. It's like I always tell women that we're too close to our own
yes.
genius. Like we're too close to ourselves to really see ourselves the way that other people can see us.
Yeah.
And what she does a great job of is pointing out those things that we're like, it seems so obvious when she says it, you're like, that is
Yeah.
so good. You're like, that's so true. I do that. Why am I not talking about that? And I just think she is the cleanest mirror and she's able to reflect back to you like all of the ways, like you said, when you give her your modalities, your unique insights, the things that you value and believe in around like what you teach and why you teach it that way and what's commonly taught that you're like, no, like this is what keeps people stuck and this is why they need this. It's like she's able to go, amazing, here's all of these things and you're like yes, and you see it very clearly because it's being mirrored back to you in a way that you're not able to do for yourself. And
Yeah.
I love that you even speak about that. It's like we don't wake up in the same way that there are days where I wake up and I'm like, I don't love what I see in the mirror. And there are days where I wake up and I'm feeling myself. Content is the same way. I am a messaging genius, and there are still some days that I feel uninspired or I'm like, I really don't know what I want to share today in a post or in an email. And never having to worry about that again is the dreamiest feeling in the world. Like nothing makes me feel better. There is no bigger role in your business than messaging. There is no bigger responsibility in your business than messaging. That's it. It touches everything that you do. And this takes the weight out of that and makes it effortless, dare I say, and
Totally.
fun and
Yeah, and fun.
fun.
Totally fun. Like I actually have fun. Like I said, I look forward to having my chats with her. Like it's actually
To your
fun.
point, we're all joking that we're like, oh my God, it's like I'm like, it's like 1 a.m. I have to stop. But it's so good. Everyone's like doing posts in the community, like, oh my God, I literally was up till 2 a.m. because I'm so obsessed with her. Like, I literally have to stop. And it's like so
Yeah.
funny. But it's when you fall in love with the creative process with her, it's crazy how you literally are like so in it. It's like time just like evaporates. And it's like a great problem to have. But I love that that's how fun she's making it. And I thought for a second like maybe it's just the honeymoon phase of having
Yeah.
her, and it isn't. It's lasting, and it's just so incredible to see other women also be experiencing that same feeling of like internal and external freedom in their business thanks to and inside and outside their business thanks to Leanne AI and the role that she's playing,
Yeah.
or
She's
Christina
incredible.
AI as we're calling her
Christina
today.
AI. Yeah. I'm like, I don't even got like what's Leanne AI? I don't even know what that is. I have Christina AI. Do you have a different version? I
I
don't
love it
know.
so much. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of your incredible experience. I'm so grateful that you took the time to share, how someone that is not a business coach, someone that was also skeptical about AI, someone that's a projector, someone that runs their business based on their feminine energy from their periods to everything else. Like, I just think it's so important for us to be having these conversations. And the intentionality is to get this tool in the hands of like every single woman out there with a business because it will change your life. Like, I don't say that lightly about anything, but this will change your life. Like if you buy nothing else from me ever, just invest in Leanne AI because
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, this tool will change the future of feminine business. And people think that I say a lot of audacious stuff. I'm not just saying it as something cute to say. I actually mean it. Like I mean it. And it's a really good time to come in and experience that with us and yeah, create the freedom that you deserve and you desire.
Yeah, you weren't kidding when you said that. I'm just gonna read that back to you. This literally is changing my business. It's changed my business, but it's also bringing me more women that are aligned with me, right? And that's the main thing too, is it's not just about, before I was, like I said, I'm a great writer. I love it, but I also have a tendency to relate to a lot of different women, right? And so what I get to do with her is I get to say, this is the kind of woman I want to bring in. And she helps me bring in the women that are ready. They're not just like, oh, I want to dabble in healing. They're like coming to me like, I'm fucking ready, sign me up. You spoke to my soul. Right. And so that's the best part is like it's not just everybody, which again, I'm a great writer, but she takes my great writing, my great brain, and she literally says, this is exactly what we're going to be talking about today
Yeah.
because this is when you're bringing in. And it's like, it's so good. So
Which is
yes.
so good because that's what effortless business is too, right? It's like
Yeah.
working with more of the right people and then it feels fun and light and easy. Because listen, not all money is created equal. Like there's a reality, not all sales are created equal. And we all know if you're running a business, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are clients that feel like food for the soul, where you're like, how did the last hour just pass? Like I wish it was longer. And there are other clients that don't feel like that. And I say this from a place of truth. It's you're right, because my work and the messaging work that I teach is about less being more. Like less people, better people. You don't need like all the people. You need the right people that are ready, are like, you're speaking to my soul. Where do I sign up? And I'm going to do the work and get the amazing results. And that's what she's programmed to do. Not just any sales, the right sales. And I
Mhm.
love that you spoke to that, because that's a huge thing that we haven't really addressed at this point, but this is a great way of addressing it. It's like she's genius at taking your messaging and who you want to speak to and pairing that perfectly so that you only attract the right people.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll say like one more thing before we end that, but also for pivots, like any kind of pivoting in business, any kind of what talking to different women, she's literally helping me get in the minds of the women that I need to be speaking to. Maybe
Mm,
I've never spoke to before,
yeah.
so I'm a trauma healer. So maybe I want to get into more, I was telling you before, like talk more about abundance and money because I'm a great manifester.
Hmm.
I've never spoke to those women before. I'm going to go back to my old brain, right? Because I'm still a human being. So I'm going to go back to that old way of messaging. But she's like, no, we're going to take your genius and we're going to actually message it this way for this woman. Again, I'm
Hmm.
repeating the same way, but it really is that powerful. Like, I will never not use her. I will never not use her. So can you like somehow do like a lifetime access deal or something?
You're like
That's,
the fifth person this week that's asked.
yeah.
They're like, I am down for the lifetime access link. Send it. Send it. Let me give you my money. Send it. But I do. I love it so much, and I'm so grateful that you came on and you've shared all of this, because it's just so important for the women listening to, to hear from different women that are in different niches, different places in their business, different everything, just to hear the wide variety of experiences in a different way. And hopefully Christina's story has resonated with you and you found yourself in some of the things that she's saying. Listen, I've done it deliberately, but there's a 1 month option with Leanne AI. I'm like, try it for a month and tell me that she doesn't fucking change everything about your life. Like, I'm
Yeah.
that confident that I'm like, try her for 1 month. Like, what do you have to lose?
And
What
you
do you
have
have
never done
to
anything for one
gain?
month. Yeah, you've never
I've
done
never done
anything. So
anything,
when you said 1 month,
nothing.
I was like, okay, she's literally like that. That's how you know this bitch is confident. She's like literally 1 month. One
I'm
month.
like 1 month, like
Yeah.
literally, because and again, from a place of the purpose of this. I'm like, I want there to be no barrier to as low of a barrier to entry as possible for women to understand how powerful this tool gets to be. And so you have a 1 month option, and if you use her and in a month you don't think she's valuable, then Godspeed, like you're released, right? There's no commitment past that. But I'm
Yeah.
telling you, there's a 90, I think we're at a 96% retention rate for a reason. Like people are hooked. Like you said, people are in, and within 2 days they're like, where's the lifetime access link? Like I'm in forever. And it just, when you experience how you get it, like you get it. Like use it for a week and tell me your life is not forever changed.
Yeah. Yeah, but use her correctly. Like that's the main thing. Like use her correctly, right? So like I said, that first couple, like the first week, I would say before I actually had the breakdown, not the breakdown, the brain dump, uh, I wasn't using her the way I'm kind of using her the way you use like a regular chat,
Yeah, you were
right?
like trying to be too formal and too
Yeah,
like, yeah, like
exactly.
janky,
Yeah.
like trying to be like, I need it.
Totally.
Da, 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 da.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I tell you, when I put my feminine in there, I put my different wildness in there, and I just really let her have it. That's not bad. But like really really, really put all of myself into her. I really feel like that's when it really started working for me. And that's when it was like, oh wow, like she is literally me. Like she's literally me. Yeah, I can go on about it forever, but it's that good. It's
I
that
love
good.
it. I love it
Like
so
run, don't
much.
walk. Yeah.
Well, we're going to tag Christina. Go follow her. She's amazing. She's just an incredible human doing incredible work. You're going to love her as much as I do. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you so much. I can't wait for all of you to come into Leanne I and meet just the incredible women that are in there using her and changing the way they do business and the way that they are experiencing freedom in their life and in their business. So if you're thinking about it, I don't even know what you're thinking about. Like come inside, try her for
Seriously.
a month or sign up forever like everybody else and see for
Mhm.
yourself how you get to experience what real freedom looks like and what effortless feminine business really gets to be like. Thank you so much, Christina.
Welcome.